Hey guys, Tiffany with another video, and as you guys saw in the title, this is going to be another one of my will I buy it or nah videos. You guys know how this works. I just come and talk about products that either have just been released or are releasing, let you guys know my thoughts, whether it's something I'll pick up or something I definitely feel like we can save a little coin on. So no more talking, let's get started. Let's just pause though and talk about these earrings. Ooh, girl. These are like those earrings. They're trendy. These earrings are very trendy because these are what a lot of people are wearing now. And I usually am all about the hoops. You all know what they say. The bigger the hoop, the bigger the... But whatever, because I love my hoops. But I never thought I could pull off these type of earrings. Super glamorous. Shout out to Shop Haute Culture. That is owned by Portia Nicole here on YouTube. I've talked about her before, but I'll leave a link down below to her site because I just think these are gorgeous. Like, your girl is feeling herself today. Let's go ahead and start off with Colored Raine, because Colored Raine, probably by the time this is out, the collection may already be out, but it's supposed to be releasing March 8th. They are releasing an eyeshadow palette and some lipsticks and some brushes. I will say, when I first saw the promo pictures for this eyeshadow palette, I think they just had like a young lady and they were only showing like one eye, and it was this gorgeous like green type of shade and such a beautiful nude color on her lips. I was like, child, whatever she's selling, like, I'm buying. I was convinced that I was going to pick up this palette and this was gonna be like my palette. Then they released the actual pictures of the palettes. I wasn't really feeling it as much anymore. This is called the Safari Raine eyeshadow palette. It's gonna run you $39 and there is 9 shades. It looks like 4 mattes and then 5 shimmer shades. And for some reason, now that I'm seeing the colors that are actually inside, I'm not as sure about picking up this palette as I first was. I think that green is gorgeous. But then the other shades, I mean, they're probably shades that I already own. But again, I say all the time, that can be said about a lot of eyeshadow palettes. You guys know, like, I'm really trying to budget myself this year because there are so many bigger like life things that I want to get and I want to purchase and I want to do. So I'm really trying to be a little bit more selective with what I purchase. I want to make sure that it's things that I'm going to actually use. And I don't know how much use I would get out of this eyeshadow palette. Also, the lipsticks, they don't look like the promo picture. Like, where is that color that I saw on the promo picture? Because I'm not impressed with these lipsticks at all. The lashes look nice. The brushes look, you know, just like brushes that I'm pretty sure I could use. A lot of people were saying that this palette put them in the mind of Juvia's Place. Like, I saw online where people were just like, oh my god, Juvia, is that you? I didn't get that. I didn't get the whole Juvia's Place vibe. Because if you look at Colored Raine and their other eyeshadow palettes, this just looked like Colored Raine eyeshadows. Maybe it's just me. But it's gonna be a pass for me, just because once I actually see the colors, I'm not as thrilled as I was just from the promo pictures alone, and I just don't think I use it too much. So Kat Von D is coming out with the new eyeshadow palette. I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Vegan. It's called Vegan. Okay. Yeah, so for every palette sold, 20% of the retail will go to Mercy for Animals, which is an international non-profit organization. I'm not seeing how much the palette is going to cost, probably in the range of like $40, $50 something, up there with Kat Von D's eyeshadow palettes. This is definitely not something I would buy, and it has nothing to do with Kat being canceled, because I know a lot of people cancel Kat Von D after her like whole not immunizing my child stance, but it has nothing to do with that. It's just looking at the palette. I just know this is not something I would use. You guys know I'm not the most colorful girl in the color wheel spectrum, okay? I love what I love. I usually stick to what I love. I would get no use out of these shades, but also looking at the swatches are a little wonky. The swatches look like dry matte. Let's just call it what it is. These swatches look like these shades are just dry and hard to work with. And this is the swatches that she put out, okay? I didn't do these swatches. She put out these swatches, and I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of this at all. I think she's been releasing a lot of stuff. She's probably trying to get the focus back onto her products and off of if she chooses to immunize her child or not. And this ain't it. This ain't the way to do it, cat. It's gonna be a no for me. So Anastasia Beverly Hills has released the pictures for their spring collection. A lot of people are saying this is their spring collection. It could be a summer collection, but it's called the Riviera. The eyeshadow palette is called the Riviera. It is going to be $45. They are also coming out with some loose highlighters and a dewy makeup finishing spray. Now, I have to say, I do really like the packaging for this palette. I like the packaging. I like the stripes. I'm liking the gold. I like the whole direction that this palette is going in. And then we get into the inside of the palette, and I was not as excited about it. I think the mattes are nice. I look at the mattes and I'm really impressed by the mattes. You guys can definitely see there's color, and color is not what we're used to seeing from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I mean, I think she gave us what, the Norvina palette and the So Culture. Those were probably the two most colorful Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes that I can remember, and everybody know the So Culture was a flop. I didn't pick up the Norvina, so I don't know, but a lot of people tend to like that palette. We're just not used to seeing color from Anastasia, so kudos to her for stepping outside of her box and bringing us something new and different in 2019. But with that being said, I'm not really feeling the new. I think the mattes look really nice. Like, I'm really here for the mattes, but the shimmers are just kind of a letdown for me. I don't think I would wear two, maybe like two. That like goldish shade and maybe that bronzy shade. Those are the only ones I would wear. I don't think, even that like cranberry-ish type of shade, the swatches aren't looking all that great for me. This is probably a palette that I need to see in person. If I see it in person, it may do a little something for, like, it may get my mojo going, because right now my mojo's at a standstill. It's not moving this way, it's not moving that way. It's just like, no. The highlighters look stunning. Y'all know that your girl loves to glow 24/7, 365. Everybody knows it. But I'm just not a fan of loose highlighters. If these were pressed highlighters, I'd be a lot more impressed. But these are loose highlighters, and loose highlighters are just too messy. Child, I'm getting too old and my hands shit. Let me stop claiming that. God, I'm not claiming that. My hand's not shaking. But I just don't like all the extra work that I have to put into the highlighters. And then she came out with a spray that's called the Dewy Set. It's a makeup finishing spray created for a dewy finish. I might actually pick that up. And I know y'all like, Tiff, what, por qué? But seriously, I've been liking a little bit more of like a dewy, luminous finish, kind of, sort of, lately. Like, I don't know what it is, so I may pick it up. The spray is supposed to be $26, and it's a scent combination of coconut and vanilla, and I love coconut and vanilla, so I may pick this up. The spray launches at Ulta first on March 7th, and then it's at all retailers April 9th. And I just so happen to have an Ulta by my job. I'm just saying. Morphe has come out with a new eyeshadow palette. This is called the Dripping Bronze. Well, a new collection. There's actually a whole collection. The collection is called Dripping Bronze. They came out with their Bronze Gold palette, the Bronze Gold 35G palette. The palette is $25, and there's a lot of shades. They also came out with some liquid lusters for $25, bronzers for $19, and there is some lip glosses, a lip gloss collection for $32, and you get 5 glosses. I actually had the chance to see this in Ulta. I was really surprised. I went in Ulta to return something, and they had like the entire collection, so I was really surprised. So I was actually able to swatch the palette. The palette had been getting a lot of good movement, and a lot of people were actually talking about this palette in a positive way on social media. So I kind of had a question mark by it, because just based on the pictures, I'm like, okay, yeah, these are colors that I love. Do I need all these shades? No, but it's $25, Tiff. You're not breaking the bank. It's a possible. But then I actually went in Ulta and I saw it, and a lot of the shades just look the same. A lot of the shades even swatched the same. So I was not as impressed as I thought I was gonna be. I think the colors are nice. I think the price point is a really good price point. I mean, again, $25, but just as a whole, I think this will probably get more shelf attention than actually going into my eyes. So it would just be a no for me. Definitely not into the liquid lusters. I don't really care for liquid highlighters. The lip glosses I thought were okay, but I didn't feel like they were more than okay. And they came as a set, and I would not use all of those shades. The brush I definitely wasn't interested in. And the bronzers were also a no for me. I do like the fact that they gave us a deeper shade, and the deeper shade looks like it would work, you know, for deeper skin tones. So high five for that. I'm just not in the market for a new bronzer right now. So it's an easy pass for me. Like, I'm really liking this whole feeling of not needing to pick up everything, because y'all know at one point I was just like, I need it, squirrel, I need it. Like, yeah, but now I'm definitely a lot more selective and a lot more conscious about what I get, and I'm loving it. So Too Faced came out with a new setting powder. Y'all know I have an addiction for, I'm like, who am I kidding? Tiff, you have an addiction for everything, but highlighters, foundations, eyeshadow palettes, and loose setting powders, oh, and concealers. Okay, those things I feel like I always need to try them out. What does that leave in between? What does that really leave? But whatever, those things for sure, I'm always gonna feel like when something new comes out, I'm going to need it. So Too Faced came out with a new powder, a new part of their Peach Perfect collection. They came out with the loose setting powder in caramelized peach or caramelized peach, just depending on how fancy you want to be. I'm going to say caramelized, just I think it sounds better. So they say it's peach tinted to brighten your complexion and create a silky smooth matte canvas while helping to absorb oil and reduce shine throughout the day. I have quite a few Too Faced powders. Their ethereal setting powders are one of my favorite powders. I thought I was going to pick this up. Honestly, I really did. Like, when I first saw it, I got really excited. I'm always excited when I feel like companies include the thought process of melanin in their products, especially loose setting powders. Like, we all don't want the banana under eye. We all don't want that white stark powder on our face. So I'm always for companies, you know, including us in the thought process. So I was really happy when I saw this, and I thought it would work really good. And then I saw my girl Andrea Renee did a video on it. I will try to leave a link to her video either down below or in the card so you guys can see it if you were like me and you were thinking of picking it up. And she did like a side-by-side comparison, one side with the new shade, one side with the older shade, and honestly there was not much of a difference. Like, you could see that there was a little bit more brightening with the translucent shade as opposed to the peach shade, but there wasn't like a huge significance to where it made me feel like I need to run out and get it. I think if I do want to try it, because it still has a question mark, it's something I'll probably pick up during one of the VIB sales, but I don't feel like it's something I need to pay full price for. So it's not a no, but it's not a I'm gonna rush out and get it. It's just like one day maybe, and if not, I still feel like I'll be okay. That's my answer. And then finally, let's go ahead and talk about the brand. Y'all know I love to hate to love. Well, we did just talk about them because we just talked about the Too Faced powder, but we're gonna talk about this some more. Too Faced is coming out with skincare. Y'all know how I feel about skincare. Y'all know I'm a skincare fanatic. I'm a skincare junkie. So I was kind of excited to see that Too Faced is supposed to come out with some skincare products. There has not been like a release date for sure. They're just kind of doing like sneak peeks right now. And it's supposed to be a moisturizer with SPF. It's called the Hangover Good to Go SPF 25 moisturizer, and it's supposed to have coconut water in it. I love the smell of coconut. You guys know their primer, their hangover primer, and the hangover setting spray has coconut in it, and I really like those products. Then they're also coming out with something like, I'm really excited about this. This is the Hangover Good in Bed Hydrating Stick. Jerry always be having these little pervert names. Like, these names always try to be like overly sexy. But this is the Hangover Good in Bed Hydrating Serum with hyaluronic acid, coconut water, dragon fruit, and the vitamin B5. All great things for your skin. I really love serums. Like, serums are one of those things within the past few years I've really been adding to my skincare and loving the results. So I'm excited. I'm more excited about the serum than I am about the moisturizer. But if it feels as good as the actual hangover primer does, because whenever I wear the hangover primer, I don't feel like I need a moisturizer because it has such a moisturizing feel to it without being like super oily, then I'll be on board to try that as well. But again, no release date, but I think these will probably be a yes for me whenever they do come out. Alright guys, so that is it for this will I buy it or nah video. Let me know what you guys think of the products that I showed. Let me know if things that you plan on picking up, or if you kind of with me like we don't really need it. Like, you guys know, I want to know all that down below in the comment section, and anything else you guys want to tell me, because I love and appreciate your feedback here on my channel. Thank you guys so much for continuing to rock with me. I am trying to get better with the videos. I think I did okay. I think I've been doing okay so far, and really trying to keep the content coming. The fact that you guys are okay with me doing the car videos kind of helps, because I could just bring my camera and film on my lunch or something like that. But thank you guys for being here and sticking it out with me. As always, you guys are definitely the real MVP in my book. And until next time, bye YouTube.